learning experiences in your classrooms today. Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the tackle?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a mixed bag for LA's NFL teams on Sunday. The Carolina Panthers snapped the Rams' 6-game winning streak. The Chargers beat the Las Vegas Raiders 31-14, but quarterback Justin Herbert suffered a fractured bone in his left hand. Herbert will have surgery today. No word yet on how long Herbert will be out. In Carolina's 31-28 win, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford was intercepted twice. One of the interceptions was returned for a touchdown. It was the first time Stafford had thrown an interception since Week 3 at Philadelphia on September 21st. The Lakers won their 7th straight. They beat New Orleans 133-121. LeBron sat out the game with a sore foot. Luka Doncic had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Lakers are 15-4. The Clippers are in Miami tonight. The 5-15 Clippers have lost 4 straight. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Celebrate the soul of the holidays and support Altadena and Pasadena. Join us on Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, a joyful night of Motor City soul, gospel, and holiday classics featuring an 18-piece band, all-star vocalist, and community choirs, all in support of the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. This performance comes at a pivotal time for many in Altadena and Pasadena. This is their first holiday season since the devastating Altadena Eden Canyon fire, which destroyed homes and community spaces. While the physical losses are immense, the power of community remains, and your attendance directly supports recovery, resilience, and renewal. So, be sure to join us Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, benefiting survivors of the Altadena Eden Canyon fire. For ticket information, just log on to tickets@thewallace.org. That's tickets@thewallace.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580 and the Black Freedom Fund.
Live from historic Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley, and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavismiley.com. That's thetavismiley.com, or wherever you get your podcast, and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this live program at your leisure. Another great show on tap for you today. In our second hour 2 conversation, it's Monday. So the doctor is in the house. Dr. Cornell West joins us today on the top side of hour 2. On the B side of hour 2, the shooter who ambushed National Guard troops on Thanksgiving Eve just blocks from the White House is an Afghan national who worked with the CIA. He entered the U.S. in September 2021 under the Operation Allies Welcome, the Biden administration's Afghan evacuation and resettlement program. And while there has certainly been criticism over the past few days, you've seen it, of the Biden administration's vetting process, the shooting suspect was actually granted asylum by Donald Trump. But that has not stopped Trump from going all in on immigrants. In any event, if you missed all of this over the Thanksgiving holiday, we'll get you caught up on the backside of our two when we speak with Sean Van Diver, founder and president of Afghan EVAC. In our third hour, historian, professor, and vice chancellor at UC Santa Barbara, Dr. Jeffrey Stewart comes live in studio for a conversation about and celebration of the 100th anniversary of the classic text, The New Negro, an Interpretation. Dr. Stewart won the Pulitzer Prize a few years ago for his book about the New Negro editor. That would be Alain Locke, of course, known as the father of the Harlem Renaissance. Locke's 1925 book is a powerful, provocative, and I think affecting anthology of writers, including Zora Neale Hurston, Countee Cullen, Du Bois, and others who shaped the Harlem Renaissance movement and who help us to consider the evolution of the African American in society. I look forward to that third hour of today's program. But in this first hour, two more guests. On the B side of this hour, we'll take Ruben Navarrette Jr.'s temperature on Trump's intensified anti-immigration stance in response to the shooting of those National Guard troops. Trump has now vowed to permanently pause migration from third world countries. But we commence today's show in dialogue with noted economist, President Emerita of Bennett College for Women, and founder of the nonprofit Economic Education, Dr. Julianne Malveaux. Dr. Malveaux, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Tavis. How you doing?
You know me. If I complained, I'd be an ingrate. But these are that's my.
Well, you ain't great anyway.
Stop it. That's my public posture. Although I must say, these days are grim days. These are really, really grim days, and there are days it's hard to sort of know what to say or what to do next when I get in this seat every day. But I'm delighted to be talking to you. Let me just start with this. I want to start with a big question, and that'll give me some room to sort of to paint with you. You saw, we're going to talk about it more later in this program, but Donald Trump has shut down, has said he's going to shut down migration from third world countries. That would include a whole lot of people that look like you and me. So he's making all the rest of us pay the price for the despicable deeds of one particular person. But where black folk are concerned, what's your read of the way we get impacted by this? Black folk in the diaspora.
Well, first of all, immigrants coming to the United States from any number of developing countries, coming from the African continent, coming from South America, contribute mightily to the economic vitality of this country. Mm-hmm. This man is willing to shut off his nose on what our grandma say, cut off your nose to spite your face. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a certified public idiot. That's all I can say. It will have the deleterious impact on international trade and development. There are all kinds of folks, our folks, who come here with skills and talents. That has been part of the American dream. Yeah, a lot of people come without skills and talents, but many come. So you're going to cut out immigration from all, as he calls them, third world countries? Mm-hmm. Excuse me? That's not going to work. And you will find somebody in Silicon Valley, somebody in Austin, Texas, saying, we need these people. So this man came into office saying he was going to expand the economy. He was going to cut inflation, didn't do that. He had made a lot of promises. All he's done is intensified the tension between the United States and other countries. If I didn't know better, Tavis, and maybe I do know better, I would think that he and Putin are conspiring to crash this country down. Mm. Between all of the things that he's doing, all of the, don't get me started. I ain't even had a drink yet because it's noon.
That's a good thing, by the way. That's a good thing.
I know, but sometimes this man makes you get up in the morning and just pour you something.
No, I understand.
Just Lordy. And I'm exaggerating slightly. Yeah. But it's so frustrating to see these things that he does that are going to basically negatively affect our country. In addition, we've seen cases where there's a young lady and I don't have the details in front of me.
Sure.
Went to see her people in Texas. She's a student somewhere. Went to see her people in Texas, and they snatched her up.
Nope, I saw that story today. Yeah, I saw that.
Cases.
Yeah.
There are all these micro cases of people being interfered with. We once upon a time were, the citadel on the hill. People want to come here. Now nobody wants to come here. People can't plan international conferences. Some of their colleagues that they've been collaborating with over months or years want to come and present papers because that's the academic culture. That's not happening. And we could go on and on and on. He has basically defiled the image of America only for his own personal gain. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's not expelling any Saudis who kill Washington reporters, though he entertains them, lavishly.
Yeah, no Saudis and no Afrikaners. We trying to grow our white numbers, but everybody knows that. Just getting started, Dr. Julianne Malveaux. We'll talk more about that as this show goes on. Huge news that Donald Trump once again has announced he's shutting down all asylum applications from so-called third world countries. Again, a couple of conversations in our show where we'll dig more into that. When we come forward, Dr. Malveaux, a couple of things I saw over the weekend that I'm anxious to get her take on. One, these economic boycotts, these blackouts that were called for on Black Friday. Did they work? Did they have any impact? What's the meaning of all that? Saw a new poll suggesting that Americans no longer see, she's a former college president, Bennett, Americans no longer see a 4-year degree as worth the cost of going to college. Much more to unpack with Julianne Malveaux when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Julianne Malveaux, for all the reasons that Dr. Malveaux just laid out moments ago, we're all trying to find ways to resist in this moment. We're trying to find ways to do that politically and socially and economically and culturally, with everybody trying to find ways to resist in this particular moment. Again, there are a number of ways I think people are doing that. I think about all these protests. No Kings protests all across the country, millions of people turning out for those protests. I think about the most recent election day, off-year election, but yet a strong message was sent, I think, to Republicans and to the White House on that election day. And then there were these blackouts, these calls for economic blackouts on Black Friday. And so again, politically, socially, economically, culturally, trying to find unique ways to resist in this particular moment. What was your thought about these calls for blackouts? They were called for, by the way, by the People's Union USA, by No Kings, Blackout the System. There were a number of groups that came together calling for these economic blackouts on Black Friday. What was your thought before they happened, and any ideas or thoughts about what impact they may or may not have had, Dr. Malveaux?
Well, Tavis, you know me a very long time. And you know I've been talking about this for a very long time.
That's why I asked you. Yep.
Consumer spending drives our economy. Our gross domestic product is driven about 70% by consumer spending. You remember, as I do, when 9/11 and Baby Bush Scrub came out and a reporter asked him, what can we do? And he said, shop. His answer was shop, spend money. And so by withdrawing our participation from predatory capitalism, we hit these devils where they live. We literally kneecap them. Now, we know that Jamal Bryant's Target boycott was successful. We saw it in their stock prices and other things, and in the antipathy that many people experience toward Target, because they're not the only big box store out there. You know, in predatory capitalism, everybody has a knockoff on somebody, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So let's be clear about that. But Latasha Brown, the others, who we ain't buying that, this was not a boycott. It was a re-education of our people about the importance of their spending. So it wasn't as expensive as a Target boycott. It was just from the 28th, day of Black Friday they call it, the day when many companies get the Black Friday to today, basically don't spend money.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. They will notice it. It may not be, but it's also a re-education, Tavis. What I love about it, it's a re-education. Because there's nothing that you can wave in front of a consumer, then you're going to get a deal. And basically, we're telling people, resist the deal. Because, you know, it's like putting blood in the water for a shark. I confess, you know, you've been in my house. You know how many closets I have. You know, I like clothes.
Yeah.
My two passions are clothes and books. And I exercise them fully. But the re-education is when you see something that says 50% off, let me help you out with something. Capitalists are not going to give you 50% off unless they're going to make money too. You know, you tell a sister, St. John knits are 50% off. We start jogging to the store. I know folks who have driven 100 miles to get deals. But are these really deals, and who do these deals serve? In other words, okay, it's 50% off. They only paid 20, 30% for it, so they still got money. And you thinking that they're giving you something. They're not giving you anything but a head trip.
Yeah.
So this thing, I admire these sisters. I feel like, did I put the baton out there and pick it up? That might be my ego, but I hope so. But I know that what they're doing is saying, let's re-educate ourselves so we can withdraw our participation from predatory capitalism, which means Number one, if you must shop, shop black. And tomorrow is supposed to be, Giving Tuesday? Give black.
Yeah.
Give black. You know, you're going to get something from the Red Cross. I love the Red Cross. But you know what? Give black. You know, someone's going to write you and say, these students, these scholarships, give to an HBCU. If you didn't go to one, just pick one. Bennett, you know, FAMU, because they got a crazy president down there now. But anyway, pick the Republican sister who does not know her hind parts from a hole in the wall. But anyway, she the president. Anyway, basically, this is a statement as much as a, quote, boycott. In fact, Latasha Brown and I've talked to her. She said, we don't want to call it a boycott. And the reason they don't want to call it a boycott because it's a different kind of measurement. It's raising our consciousness. Y'all, every time you go to a Target, a Walmart, Amazon, you are participating in your own oppression.
Yeah. Let me jump in on a couple of things there. Number one, Malveaux mentioned the Black Friday, of course, a few days ago. Today is so-called Cyber Monday. And as she just mentioned, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. I love how all those things run together. And I don't know. I laugh every time I think about this. I don't know how Giving Tuesday got behind Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Because if you're taking advantage of all these sales, you ain't got no money to give on Giving Tuesday. That's a whole nother conversation. So it seems to me that Giving Tuesday should have been like last Tuesday, before you get to all the sales on Black Friday and before you get to all the sales on Cyber Monday. I don't know who put Giving Tuesday after all that. It makes no sense to me, but I digress. I'm glad there's Giving Tuesday. And to Malveaux's point, I hope you will give to something black. But I want to go back right quickly, watching my time, to this Target issue that you raised. I discussed this last week before we took off a couple of days for the Thanksgiving break. And the data is incontrovertible, Dr. Malveaux, as you mentioned, about Target. And Jamal Bryant, and there were others out there as well, and there was some, back and forth about who should get the credit for it, and I'm not even concerned about that. But my point is that when you look at the data points, you look at Target's earnings over these last couple of quarters, and you look at all the drama inside with the personnel changes they're making at the top tier inside of Target. You're right about the fact that that this boycott, if this re-education, whatever you want to call it, when black people stopped spending money with Target, it absolutely impacted their bottom line. And I raise that only because I think sometimes we need some evidence that when we're fighting these behemoths like Target, that you can, in fact, make a difference. I mean, what's that old adage? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This impact, I mean, this boycott of Target has in fact had an impact, and they can deny it all they want. They've not acknowledged it. They're putting their heads in the sand, trying to ignore it. But the numbers don't lie, Dr. Malveaux. This impact on this boycott on Target had an impact.
Not only that, their CEO is gone.
Yep.
Tell me that he just got up. Joe just got his hat and gone.
Yeah, personnel. Yes, that's what I meant. Personnel change at the top. That's what I was talking about. CEO's gone now. Yeah.
So we can make a difference if we work together. And I don't care with the Target boycott who gets the credit.
Right.
And folks need to stop. What we need to do is look at effectiveness.
Yeah.
And basically, what Latasha and the others are saying is let's work in concert. A lot of people are not going to be able to, quote, boycott or stop spending. One of my sisters texted me talking about, well, she needed this and the only place she get is Target. I said, can you just wait until Wednesday? Mm. I mean, seriously. He's texting me about some nonsense like that.
Yeah.
But, our family crazy. So, at least she had thought enough of me to say, before I go buy this, is it okay?
Yeah.
No, Heffler.
Talk me off the ledge, Julianne. Talk me off the ledge, she said. Yeah, talk me down.
So I said, wait till Wednesday, Thursday. You're not going to die without it. And again, let's think about our foremothers and fathers and the sacrifices that they had to make and the compromises internally that they had to make. When they want to buy you a baseball bat or me a doll, they had to go to the back of the store.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrestled internally to say, does my kid get the goodie or do I take the humiliation? And it's not as bad, of course, now as it was then, but I want to remind us that we do not have to fuel oppression.
Mm.
And we go to Target, we're fueling oppression.
Yeah.
We go to Amazon, we're fueling oppression. And so we have the receipts that suggest that our withdrawals of participation are effective.
Yeah.
We just have to do them more frequently.
Nope, I couldn't agree more. So again, Black Friday a few days ago. Today's Cyber Monday. Tomorrow, Giving Tuesday. Tap in as you will, but you hear the plea to let our dollars or the absence of our dollars speak for themselves. And again, the numbers on Target are real. I just invite you to Google it. I mentioned it last week. If you haven't seen it yet, just Google Target's earnings, the recent earnings, and see how down they are in their earnings. And as Malveaux said, the CEO got pushed out. They can deny all day long it had nothing to do with this, but they're losing money at Target. Well, I shouldn't say they're not losing money; they're not making as much money, and that's the whole point of these economic boycotts or re-education, as Dr. Malveaux would put it. Looking at my clock, got a few minutes left here. I'm not stunned by this. I've been seeing signs of this for some time now. Malcolm X once said that education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. That was Malcolm X. He was right about that, I think. And yet now, in 2025, Americans have grown sour, it seems to me, on one of the longtime key ingredients of the American dream. That would be a college education. This poll from NBC News suggests, in a dramatic shift, Dr. Malveaux, that Americans no longer see a 4-year college degree as worth the cost of it. The paper ain't worth the cost. As a former college president, to that you say what?
People have a point. I disagree that it's not worth the cost, but I'm looking at the rising cost of tuition, the ROI from college education, especially when you're majoring in something that's considered soft, sociology, African-American studies. These are considered soft majors, but my thing is that they're not soft majors. If you double major in African-American studies and business, you got the marketing chops to sell to the $1.7 trillion market. So let's just combine some things. But questions have been raised, especially about the rising cost of tuition, and that's ridiculous. And what's harder for HBCUs is while tuition costs rise, support for us falls. And so many of our young people they don't have enough money. They're taking out major loans. And, Tavis, one of the things that really troubles me with that man. Yeah. Okay, so now they're saying that nursing is not a profession.
Yep, I saw that.
Excuse me? Teaching nursing and social work were the backbone for the upward mobility of black women. How do you say that nursing is not a profession? What that means is that nursing students can take out less loans. Yep. It's ridiculous. All these things are implicitly attacks on black people and especially on black women. And black women carry more student loan debt than any other demographic out there. Yeah. So what we have to reexamine. I mean, there are workarounds to this. Go to community college for 2 years and then go to UCLA. Yeah. You still get a UCLA degree. Yeah. There are many workarounds. So we have to deal with the fact that many think it's not worth it, but guess what? Yeah. It may not be worth it for a white boy who's building a whatever out of his garage. It's a union card for a black person.
Yeah, no, for those who didn't see the story, again, a lot of stuff got lost during the Thanksgiving holiday season. The Trump administration is redefining which degrees, which professions are considered professional degrees. And so they do include pharmacy, dentistry, veterinary medicine, chiropractic, law, medicine, optometry, podiatry, theology even. But nursing is no longer considered a professional degree amidst all these student loan changes they are making. And so that's a problem, particularly at a time when post-pandemic, we see a shortage in nurses. So you can call it whatever you want to call it, Mr. Trump, but when we're being rushed to hospitals and there's a shortage of nurses, we all got a problem. So I think you can't disconnect them suggesting that nursing is no longer a profession from a nursing shortage that we're experiencing even as we speak. I hope this NBC News poll means that we think education is too pricey. Not that we are going sour on education, but I'll leave it there for now. Dr. Malveaux, good to have you. I'm going to do it again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Perhaps later today you can have a drink, but not too soon. Talk to you later.
Tavis, you take care.
All right. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Why does Tavis say when we come forward?
Because he's not going back.
And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Democratic Congresswoman Robin Kelly of Illinois introduced the Wells Act recently after Black mother Mercedes Wells was denied care and gave birth in her car in Indiana.
Healthcare is a two-way street where the patient is heard and listened to, which is why the Wells Act also includes racial bias training.
The bill mandates safe discharge plans and hospital accountability to protect women in labor. Refugee status in the U.S. will be under review. The Trump administration says Biden-era admissions prioritized speed over security. A memo orders re-interviews for 200,000 refugees, citing concerns about vetting quality and national safety. And more than 200 Border Patrol agents are reportedly headed to New Orleans amid speculation the city is next in a federal immigration crackdown after raids in Chicago, LA, and Charlotte. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a mixed bag for LA's NFL teams on Sunday. The Carolina Panthers snapped the Rams' 6-game winning streak. The Chargers beat the Las Vegas Raiders 31-14, but quarterback Justin Herbert suffered a fractured bone in his left hand. Herbert will have surgery today. No word yet on how long Herbert will be out. In Carolina's 31-28 win, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford was intercepted twice. One of the interceptions was returned for a touchdown. It was the first time Stafford had thrown an interception since Week 3 at Philadelphia on September 21st. The Lakers won their 7th straight. They beat New Orleans 133-121. LeBron sat out the game with a sore foot. Luka Doncic had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Lakers are 15-4. The Clippers are in Miami tonight. The 5-15 Clippers have lost 4 straight. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Ruben Navarrette Jr., who is the most widely read Latino columnist in the country, courtesy of his Creators Syndicate piece. Have him on today to take his temperature on Trump's intensified anti-immigration stance in response to that shooting of those National Guard troops. Trump has now vowed to permanently pause migration from third world countries. Before I get to Ruben, here is some sound from Donald Trump. Now, talking about denaturalizing citizens and the whole notion of reverse migration.
Mr. President, you said that you might denaturalize some American citizens. Can you talk about...
You mean people that are in here that shouldn't be here?
Well, that became Americans. Are you trying
we'll
to
see.
revoke
I mean,
their
yeah, we have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized maybe through Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize absolutely.
What do you mean by
Dan, do you have a question? Yeah.
What do you mean by reverse migration?
It means get people out that are in our country. Get them out of here. I want to get them out. We got a lot of people in our country that shouldn't be here, and they came in through Biden, and he was the worst president in the history of our country. But the single biggest thing he did was allow millions of people into our country that shouldn't be here. Drug dealers, prisons were opened up and allowed to come into our country. You take a look at the people that were allowed to come into our country. We're paying a big price for it, and we will for years to come, including the recent killer of two wonderful National Guards people. And I'll tell you what, that animal should not have been allowed to come into our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
That animal, he refers to him, should not have been allowed to come in our country. First of all, the language, but that's another conversation for another time. I mentioned earlier, in case you've just tuned in, that the Biden administration has taken some heat for its vetting process, but it was actually the Trump administration that granted asylum to this alleged killer. So just remember that, number one. Number two, I laughed when I heard that clip, Ruben, because all along, Obama has been the worst president in our nation's history. Apparently, Joe Biden has now moved ahead of Obama in that category. So Biden, according to Trump, is now the worst president in our country's history. I guess that means Obama's number two. But the third thing is, and I'll let Ruben go after this, when this thing started to develop and, Trump started popping off about this, and those comments are actually from today, I'm following this story, of course, during the Thanksgiving break, but I'm also following this particular news, and it is that the Latino numbers for Donald Trump are no longer possible to ignore. Listen now, 70% of Latinos now disapprove of the job that Donald Trump is doing. 70%, according to the most recent polls, disapprove of the job he's doing. 65% disapprove of his immigration policies. 65% again on immigration. 61% say his economic decisions have worsened conditions, and 78% believe his administration's policies do more harm than good. Those numbers are arresting. And so I've talked to Ruben about this a number of times, as you well know, before the election, during the election, post the election, now almost a year into his presidency. Latinos finally now overwhelmingly disapprove of this president. So, Ruben, you know my take on this. It took y'all a while to get there, man. Why so long?
So not we all. I've been never Trump from the beginning. Yeah. Original never Trumper am I. Brother, good to be with you as always.
Likewise.
So I'll tell you where I think we are. Latinos, and if we're talking just specifically about Latino support for Trump and how it's gone out the window.
Right.
At the very beginning in November, a year ago, Latinos were given the choice between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And they said, we're going to vote for Donald Trump by half. So she basically split that vote with him 50-50,
right,
which was really high for a Republican. And part of that is the fact that Kamala Harris left Latinos cold. She was not warmly embraced by the community. She didn't seem to embrace her role as border czar. She went to Guatemala, told people don't come. She's the daughter of immigrants. I'm not. My parents were born in the U.S., but she was telling immigrants to keep out, stay out. And then on top of that, she built on a Biden legacy that was never really strong with regard to Latinos. You remember all that hubbub about Feel Bernie? Bernie Sanders did really well with Latinos, and Joe Biden did really well with African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine people went to African Americans and said, why did you guys lose support for Bernie? How did Bernie lose support among black folks? And you'd say, well, he never had our support.
Never had it.
It wasn't a question of losing it. So they already started on a weak foundation with regard to Biden not being popular with Latinos, added on Kamala Harris. Latinos looked at the choice and said, I'm going to go for Trump. Here's what's happened now. Kamala Harris is out of the picture. So is Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
It's only Trump versus Trump. And when you look at Trump, he's not the lesser of two evils. He's just evil.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But there's nothing revolutionary about that. There's nothing groundbreaking. As we say in this business, this isn't breaking news, Ruben. There's nothing that Donald Trump is doing now except this new announcement shutting down asylum applications from all third world countries. We'll come back to that in a second. That is a new development born of this shooting the other day. But there's nothing on the immigration front with regard to your community that Trump is doing that he didn't promise to do. So my point is, why is it evil now and it wasn't evil then?
So he lied about who he was going to go after. Not just him, but Stephen Miller, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, and Donald Trump all lied.
Right.
They all said they were going to go after the worst of the worst.
Right.
They were going to go after criminals. They were going to go after people specifically. We know his name. He's in that house. He's violated his order.
Yeah.
You know, he's a criminal. Okay, the Latinos said, we're good with that. We're all good with that. But instead, what they did was, because they need to meet a 3,000-person arrest per day quota, set arbitrary quota set by Homan and Miller, they're just grabbing people willy-nilly, you know, in front of the Home Depot in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Or in D.C., or in Chicago, or in Los Angeles. And what started here, brother, in Los Angeles on June 6th, who could have predicted it would have become a national story?
Yeah.
That you would go city by city. Now they're in New Orleans. They're going to go city by city, right? And so ultimately, promises were made and promises were broken. And the Trump administration lied about who they're going after.
So when you say who could have predicted, let me answer that question. I could have. Now, I don't know if that makes me smarter than everybody else, but I could have predicted this, and let me tell you why. Because, you know, I mean, I don't think it requires a Harvard degree. Ruben has one of those. I do not. But I don't think it requires a Harvard degree to understand the old adage that when they come for them first, they come in for me second. That's the oldest play in the playbook, Ruben. They go after them first, and then they come for me. So the fact that, you know, that some, not all, but many in your community thought that, you know, one, that you could, let me start with this. One, the fact that Donald Trump said something and you believed him, that's like completely stuck on stupid to begin with, that you actually believe what he said in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah, but secondly, why believe this notion that they're going after them and they ain't never going to come after me? I know better than that.
We have never learned that lesson, my brother.
Yeah.
We have never learned that lesson, my brother. I remember an interview after 9/11 where they interviewed young African-American men, and they said, are you okay with racial profiling at airports? And they said, hell yes. And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's not us. They're profiling Arab Americans.
Yeah.
We have never learned that lesson, that somehow when they come for you, after they're done with you, they're going for the next group.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't pick that up in immigration. We didn't pick that up with terrorism. My African-American friends tell me that for many years, obviously, they've had a healthy suspicion of law enforcement. Law enforcement preys on African-Americans, young men in particular. But other groups just never thought, hey, it's going to happen to us. And there's another side to that coin, and that is the immigration debate so often has been limited just to Latinos. Yeah. And it isn't until Haitians are added to the equation, or people from other countries are added to the equation, Asians are added to the equation, that we think more broadly. Mm-hmm. And where we're at now today is that the president has said he wants to stop asylum for people from 19 different countries. And as he puts it, countries where people are not an asset to the United States, third world countries where they're poor and dark.
Yeah. Nope. That's exactly what he said. We'll pick up on that point when we come forward. Ruben Navarrette Jr. on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya Kuselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and Ruben Navarrette Jr. Ruben and I both live in Southern California. I live in L.A. He lives in the San Diego area. And some 30, 40 years ago, it seems, he and I did a radio show together here in L.A. For those listening across the country, we were the first black and brown radio team in the country. I had a huge feature, as I recall, on the cover of the L.A. Times, what's happening in radio. This black kid and this brown kid have gotten together for a radio show. It was a big deal all those years ago, and he's gone on to do quite well in his career, and I've been blessed beyond measure in my own. And so here we are all these years later talking about stuff that we talked about all those years ago. And speaking of all those years ago, Ruben was right a moment ago when he said that we, and he meant his community and my community. Our communities, black and brown, have never learned these lessons, that when they come for them first, they're going to come for us thereafter. I was thinking during that break, Ruben, about Prop 187 and Prop 209. You know exactly where I'm going. They ran this anti-immigrant proposition, this play here in California back in 1994, and it passed overwhelmingly, and I'm sad to say, with the support of African Americans. Ruben and I talked about this then. Yes. So Prop 187 passes in 94, anti-immigrant legislation here in California, a state that could not survive without immigrant support, immigrant labor, immigrants in our workforce. But we passed this thing overwhelmingly, Prop 187 in 94. Wait for it. 2 years later, in 1996, they came after black people with Prop 209 on affirmative action, and it passed overwhelmingly here in California. So they went after the brown folk first, then the black folk second, just 2 years apart, and both of those measures were successful. I think that's Exhibit A, Ruben, in your point about the fact that we haven't learned this lesson yet.
It's absolutely. It was terrible. In November of 1994, Prop 187 did pass with a majority of California support. African Americans supported at 60-40. And I'll never forget, and really to his credit, in January, just 2 months later, in January of 1995, at the Martin Luther King breakfast, Speaker of the House Assembly, Willie Brown, spoke up about this and about Prop 187, and he told the audience of mostly African Americans, "We let Martin down." He says, "We let Martin down," and he had the authority to say that. It was Willie Brown, and he's always been there for his community, and he said, "We let Martin down." And likewise, my community has let down other populations. In 2008, a majority of Latinos voted for Prop 8 to solidify same-sex marriage, deny our gay brothers and sisters the right same-sex marriage. And we were oblivious to the fact that we often have been denied freedom, and here we are denying freedom to someone else. So, yeah, it goes around. It goes around.
Yep. So what do we make of this moment that we're in now where Donald Trump, because of this shooting, is shutting down asylum pretty much from everywhere he wants to shut it down, and put it that way?
Okay, so check this out. I think from the very beginning, Donald Trump has been clear about what he wants to do, and that is he wants to reverse demographics. He wants to get to a point where there are fewer black folks and fewer brown folks in the United States, certainly fewer immigrants and refugees. He is of the opinion that we let in too many people from, quote, bleep hole countries, right? Expletive whole countries.
Yep.
And he said in that same quote, you will recall, why don't we let in more people from Norway? Well, what he's not understanding is that typically people don't want to flee Norway. They got a good thing going in Norway. Norway's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
In some of those other places like Haiti or Colombia or Nicaragua or Cuba, it's not so good. Venezuela. And people are trying to flee. The whole notion of having a refugee policy, which is allowed for and really called for by U.S. law, international law, is to let people flee from chaotic places. So as Trump sees it, he just wants more white folks, people who look like him, wealthy white folks, by the way. Have you noticed the president has a real soft spot for billionaires? If you are a billionaire and you're charged with a crime, he will pardon you. If you're doing business with the Trump family in Bitcoin, he's for sure going to pardon you. And so, unfortunately, our president does not have much warmth in his heart for poorer people, refugees, immigrants, dark people, black people, brown people. If you're not of his color and living in his zip code, he doesn't have much use for you.
In our remaining moments, Ruben Navarrette Jr. will talk about this story, this breaking news. Apparently, furious House Republicans are warning in private conversations with journalists that more explosive resignations are coming after Marjorie Taylor Greene. That was the pre-Thanksgiving news, that Marjorie Taylor Greene was stepping down and will do so in January. But apparently there are other Trump allies, at least allies heretofore, who are also preparing to resign as well. So it won't just be Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's happening inside the GOP? We'll talk about that in our remaining moments with Ruben when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
As we go a little something like this.
Hey, it is me, D.L. Hughley, and I am thrilled to be heard weekdays in my hometown on KBLA Talk 1580. So check out the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a whole lot to talk about, let me tell you. That's on the real.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found BenefitsCheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. BenefitsCheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley, Ruben Navarrette Jr. So, Ruben, you know how this works being a writer. You can talk on the record to a reporter, or you can talk on background. And on background means your name ain't going to be in the story. So there are a number of Republicans who are starting to talk on background, Republicans talking to reporters. I'm looking at their story now, specifically in the Daily Beast. Headline, Furious House Republicans warn more explosive resignations are coming after Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's behind this, and you can read the story for yourself in the Daily Beast. I recommend it. Fascinating story. But what's behind this brouhaha is that the White House has continued to treat these members like garbage, so they say. They're treating them like garbage, and they're just tired of the arrogance of the way this White House treats certain people. And apparently there are a number of Republicans who've had it, and according to this story, we should expect that there'll be other resignations, not just Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are you buying it?
I am buying it, and I think you're going to see something before the resignations. You're going to see more people speaking on record, on television, with an R after their name, questioning things the administration says and does. Mm-hmm. It's already happened just this weekend over the Venezuelan drug boats.
Yep.
And the sense that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth may have committed a war crime in instructing people to leave no survivors, kill them all, as reported by the Washington Post. Either the Post is lying and the report isn't right in the Washington Post, or Hegseth is lying that this didn't happen. And Republicans are starting to step forward on television by name and say they have questions. They're going to hold hearings. In fact, they're going to hold hearings both in the House and Senate on this issue led by Republicans.
Yeah.
So before the resignations, you're going to see more of this. Now, let me just push back quickly on where the Republicans are. They're getting what they deserved, because for the last year, as you recall, we would talk about this, you and me, and we kept waiting for Republicans to show some backbone. It became a punchline that they were rubber stamping every single thing the administration did. Mm-hmm. And so when you treat yourself that way, when you prostitute yourself that way, you're not going to be well respected and well regarded. That's where we are now. And so the administration has no respect for them because they deserve no respect. But now I guess the story for year two of the administration is going to be a pushback by Republicans. So it'll be a little red-on-red violence, which will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, they're complaining that they're being treated in roughshod ways. They're being threatened to vote certain ways on certain bills, and so they're tired of the strong arming, as it were, by Donald Trump and his administration. None of that should surprise any of us. That's how Trump does business. But I close on this note. I think there are also members, they may not want to acknowledge this, but I think there are a lot of members who also believe they're going into the minority after these midterms. And so who wants to be around to serve in the minority? I think some of that's at play too, Ruben. What say you?
I think they see the writing on the wall, which is that even though Donald Trump is immune to this stuff because he doesn't have to run for re-election again,
right?
It's not the case for members of the House of Representatives. They think they're going to lose the House, possibly lose the Senate.
Yeah.
That Speaker Mike Johnson is not long for this world in terms of the speakership in that office, and it's every man for himself now. You and I have covered politicians for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And we know it's every man for themselves, and there's no honor among thieves. You're going to see a lot of Republicans turning on the president, trying to distance themselves from that policy to save their own skin come November 2026.
We shall see, but I think Ruben's probably right about that. For now, we thank Ruben Navarrette, syndicated columnist with the Creators Syndicate, making him the most widely read Latino columnist in the nation every single week. Host of the very popular podcast, Ruben in the Center. Substack piece. He's a busy guy, but he takes 30 minutes out to talk to me, and I appreciate it. Talk to you soon, Ruben. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
All right, take care. Love you, brother. Bye-bye.
Love you back, man. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. It's hour 2, which means we're kicking off with Dr. Cornel West here on Tavis Smiley.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Democratic Congresswoman Robin Kelly of Illinois introduced the Wells Act recently after Black mother Mercedes Wells was denied care and gave birth in her car in Indiana.
Healthcare is a two-way street where the patient is heard and listened to, which is why the Wells Act also includes racial bias training.
The bill mandates safe discharge plans and hospital accountability to protect women in labor. Refugee status in the U.S. will be under review. The Trump administration says Biden-era admissions prioritized speed over security. A memo orders re-interviews for 200,000 refugees, citing concerns about vetting quality and national safety. And more than 200 Border Patrol agents are reportedly headed to New Orleans amid speculation the city is next in a federal immigration crackdown after raids in Chicago, LA, and Charlotte. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.